And hello everyone, welcome to EF, the old everything football show. I almost said the ultimate Bayern Munich fan channel, but this is about football, this show. I haven't done this in a while, and this is recorded, yes, and I'm going to upload this 30 seconds after I upload. I could have just made it live. It does not matter, okay? But I think everyone's heard the news. Mbappe 2020 to Newcastle. I know I never thought that would happen. Initially, when the rumors of the Saudis taking over Newcastle came out, I genuinely did believe them. I think, it's going to happen, by the way, and it's pretty much finalized at this moment. And I think everyone and every Newcastle fan is probably just having half of the fan base are probably like, please don't let it happen. And half of the fan base are probably like, please let it happen. Because this is unprecedented in football for, people with lots of money to take over clubs. Someone told me, it's very immoral. What about the Glazers of Manchester United then? What about them? They have a lot of money and they took over Manchester United and they've invested a lot of money into players. What about them? Why is it wrong that the Saudis do it? Now, I'm not defending the Saudis for taking over football clubs. I think football is prestige and we should have our level of fairness financially, whatever. But Manchester United have the Glazers, right? They have the Glazers. The difference with the Saudis is that they actually just do it well. They actually are football fans. Let's be real, they're football fans. If they wouldn't be doing this if they didn't, care about football. I think the thing with the Saudis is they kind of like, one clan might be like, hey, we own PSG, here's the accomplishments, right? Which is why they keep trying to win the Champions League, because that's the best trophy for PSG. And then the other one's like, hey, we own Man City, here's our trophies. We have Pep Guardiola, Kevin De Bruyne, Raheem Sterling, Leroy Sané, right? It's a bragging thing for them maybe, right? They're playing Monopoly with our football, but it's okay, it's okay. I think for Newcastle, they've had Mark Ashley for God knows how long. And think about it, this will be a fantastic move for them to go from an owner that was very, very, very pissed off to invest in. I think somewhere he hasn't even put a single. I don't know. This guy, there's so many stories about him. He also opened his Sports Direct stores while this coronavirus stuff was happening. He tried to keep them open. We didn't shut him down. He could have contributed to some people getting the virus, right? So Mike Ashley is I don't even know that much about Newcastle, to be honest with you. I'm just telling you what the news is. But I'm guessing that they're just not in a good financial situation with Mac Ashley in charge, and they'll probably cost the Saudis about 400 million. I'm hearing. Think about it. I have always respected Newcastle club, right? Because they have 50,000 at St. James Park capacity, right? Imagine this: Newcastle have good players. They're a team that they should be in the top 8, competing with the Arsenals and the Uniteds and the Spurs, right? They should be in that category. And there's talk that if the Saudis take over Newcastle, they might actually appoint Mauricio Pochettino to build the club, and I think that'd be a superb signing. Newcastle is a club that it would be so cool if they got to that level, because the city of Newcastle in England is, I'm hearing from a lot of people, is a cool city. So I think this would be a fantastic takeover. I'm probably the only one who feels that, but football is changing. Like, let's be real, football is going to go into there's going to be a lot more money made, right? I watched a Tifo football video about if leagues had their own streaming platform instead of selling their television rights, their copyright rights to TV companies. If they had their own thing, their own streaming service, they would go from making a few billion per season to making hundreds of billions per season to 90 billion, right? Just a single league. And I think that now we're only seeing what football is capable of financially. Why is my PC screaming? We're only seeing right now what football is capable of doing financially. In the future, it's going to be a lot more. I think you'll be complaining about the Saudis, right? Sometimes I'm a Bayern fan. We're all Bayern fans. Pretty much everyone watching this should be a Bayern fan. Join Bayern! Okay, join the cult. But Bayern Munich, we're fans of the club, right? Sometimes the board make decisions. They don't spend money, and we all moan. We're football fans. We moan. But we never think about how worse we could have it. We could be Man City with no fans and have this incredible, well-run club all across the board. And we could have all this money and it would be completely immoral, and we would be looked at as this terrible team. We could have that. We could be that team. But We are not, and we have to be grateful for that. And if you're a Man United fan, Chelsea fan, not Chelsea, you've spent money too to get where you are, but except you haven't done it with Saudis. I think the main reason people are so critical of this Saudi takeover is because they're Saudis. If this was Abramovich, Israeli guy from Russia as well, you wouldn't be as intensely into it. At least Chelsea did have a few fans, right? City didn't have any, and they just took a club that was crap and took it to world class and one of the most expensive squads assembled in history. The thing with Newcastle, it's not in the same situation as City. Newcastle actually have passionate fans. Imagine 10 billion true Geordies jumping around singing. I think that's probably one of the scariest things. Newcastle have the stadium, they have the fans, they have everything that you need to be a top club. They just don't have the ownership structure. So if these Saudis come in, I know it's going to piss off a lot of Newcastle fans, but if you see your team starting to do well and start being where they're supposed to be instead of being this crap team, mid-table team every season, you're probably going to get on the Saudi board too. I think all of us will. I'm not going to get into it, but I think this is just good for Newcastle. Mike Ashley's been... Everything I've heard of the guy just sounds like he's a complete D-I-C-K head, okay? He's a complete D head, okay? That's everything I've heard about him. I think this would be a fantastic move for him to move away from the club and not piss off 99% of people that live in Newcastle, the city of in England. But I'm serious. This doesn't sound like a bad idea. It doesn't. I mean, look, I think the thing with the Saudis is obviously they've broken financial fair play rules, right? But they've done everything. But what I like that they do is they run clubs well. Like for them, it's not just, for the Glazers, the Man United is to get some money from a rich club. That's what they do. For Mike Ashley, it's to fund his retail businesses, right? But for the Saudis, it's like they like football. They're fans of football. Obviously, maybe not fans of the clubs they take over. They become fans after they take them over. But they're fans of football. And they want to use their money to something that they can brag to their, friends about. The thing is, it's all about bragging for them. These guys have a lot of money. The oil industry, especially in Arabia, in the Arab world, is freaking rich, man. If you are in oil, you are making bank. If you're an oil executive, if you oil is something we all need, especially except we all just go to solar energy or something overnight, but we'll always need oil. So there's a lot of freaking demand in their industries, right? And their whole countries, their economies are all about oil, right? Most countries in the Middle East, their entire existence is to produce oil and sell it to the other countries. And I think that these guys have so much money that they don't know what to do with. They're all tired of buying planes and jets. They want something to show for it. They want a team, a football team. They want to tell people they have Kevin De Bruyne on their payroll. They want to tell people that Pep Guardiola manages their team that they own in England, right? Also, it builds their freaking reputation worldwide. If you look at the City owner, I didn't even know who he was before that, but he's Shaka or something like that. He's become a little bit more popular. See, this is what happens, right? They all care about their reputation so much, they're willing to ruin it to just gain a little bit of something back. Owning a big club in England, in anywhere, I mean, Germany, it's impossible for them to own a club, which is why they haven't tried to take over Dortmund, right? It took Red Bull years to even get Hope. Is it Dieter Hope? Hope, the owner of Hoffenheim in Germany. It took him years to use his money to build his club because it's so hard. You can't just take over a club that's in the top level and just give them money. You can't do that in Germany. There's too many restrictions, the 50+1 rule being the most important, where you can't change anything. City changed their badge and their kit system. They changed everything. You can't do that in Germany. The fans, the club members have to vote. Like the fans literally have the biggest say, and you can't just do everything you want. So it would be very hard in Germany. In Spain, it's a bit different. It's quite a little bit similar to Germany. Not as similar, but you can't just do what they can in England. If the Premier League had all these restrictions, I think it would make it very hard for the Saudis to keep taking over clubs. But they don't. Right? If the Premier League said the fans have to have the certain... No, they don't. They don't have these rules. Another reason why Germany is just better at doing everything. Better league, better everything. Better players, better World Cup trophies, and better trophy cabinet. Like, the Premier League clubs are too easy to take over. It's too easy to take a top club like Manchester United and ruin them because of poor ownership. It's too easy. I don't know a single club in the world that's big as United and don't have a director of football, someone to oversee footballing decisions. You have a banker controlling decisions. And Mike Ashley, you have a fat weirdo who thinks making a club terrible is profitable. If Mike Ashley actually put money into the club, do you think the fans would be pissed off at him? If he put the money, the fans are Newcastle fans are one of the coolest fans. Like, Newcastle fans actually spend money, put money into their club, but they don't see it back on the pitch. The whole point of buying jerseys is to see good players in those jerseys that you're wearing. You want to be proud of wearing the jersey. I have a Bayern Munich jersey. I'm proud of wearing that jersey. You know why? Because it makes me feel like I'm Lewandowski. It makes me feel like I'm Thiago. It makes me feel like I'm any good player at the club, right? But a club like Newcastle with a huge stadium like St. James Park should probably have a better ownership structure. They should deserve this. I don't care what anyone says. They deserve Kylian Mbappe. They deserve this because football at the end of the day is all about us, the fans. We're the heart, soul, and character of this footballing thing. Football would not exist without us. And I think the Magpies faithful supporters deserve a little bit of a treat. They deserve it, man, because they have a good history. They're a club that came, they have just that great structure. And in a way, I think that if the Saudis do take them over, honestly, I feel like Newcastle will become a more structured club. Not only that, in terms of how they make stuff happen, how they do business, but I think genuinely they will start. The fan base, it's just there. The passion is already there. They'll have passionate fans. They'll fill up the stadium. Even when they're getting relegated, they'll probably fill up the stadium. But the most important thing is, if they brought in a manager like Pochettino, gave him a decent budget to work with, bought him good players, because Newcastle they probably make a lot of money, to be completely honest. They have a lot of fans. I've noticed. True Geordie, one of the biggest YouTubers on this YouTube thing, he motivated me to do this. Not him specifically, but he was one of the reasons I decided to start doing my own BayernNow Ultimate Bayern Munich fan channel. And he's the reason. I mean, they have so many fans all over the place, and Newcastle deserves something. Your manager, you sacked, what was his name? Rafa Benitez. And then you brought in Steve Bruce playing dead football. So, I mean, they're set for 200 million cash injection as Steve Bruce lands transfer war chest. Steve Bruce to be handed 200 transfer war chest by Newcastle's prospective owners. History suggests is on borrowed time at Newcastle after 300 million takeover. I think they'll start play. You know what? Football is about entertainment. Let's be real. If Newcastle become good, it will be entertaining for everyone. But at the same time, we're all gonna just have the feeling in the back of our heads that, hey, this is bad. But I think the only reason we're criticizing the Saudis and not criticizing the American owners of most Premier League clubs is because we all think the Saudis are these evil people. They are football fans. They're more football fans than the Glazers of freaking Manchester United, than Arsenal's Kroenke Sporting. I know of the Kroenkes because they own the Colorado Rapids, which is supposed to be the team I'm supposed to support, right? And the Rapids are crap, and they still stay in the MLS because there's no promotion relegation. In a way, they're getting taken over by football fans, so they'll be a good club. They'll hire good people. They won't go financial fair play. There's none of that, because at the end of the day, if Newcastle are getting good results and the Premier League is doing well, they won't ever sanction them. And the only organization that doesn't care if Newcastle do well and would sanction them is probably UEFA, because UEFA is just like, we own the most prestigious club tournament. You can leave if you want. We don't care. We don't need your money. So genuinely speaking, I think the Newcastle takeover makes complete sense for Newcastle fans, and I hope they actually get taken over by someone who actually cares for the club. And I'm not saying that in terms of passion. I'm saying that in terms of footballing wise, they want to spend money and actually get something out. The thing with Mike Ashley is I don't think the guy understands this. Business, football is a business. Like, football is in the entertainment, and it's in the entertainment industry. One of the most entertaining things is getting new players. Like, for fans, we are so passionate when we see a new player in the shirt that we love. We love that because it gives us something new to buy into. When a TV show never changes its, anything about it, it gets boring. if it's the same damn repeat episodes, you know, the same type of structure with the storytelling, it gets boring. You need something different. You need a different player to just come in and make the experience as a fan better. You need to just see you sign some great player, right? Even Burnley do more business than Newcastle. They just buy 38-year-old Englishmen who pretty much done with their career, but at least they do business. So, alright, that's it for the video. If you're a Newcastle fan, good luck. I don't care. But that's EF, Everything Football, where we talk about everything football. Thank you all so much for watching. Mia san mia and peace. Well, Mia san mia means we are who we are. You know, it's just we are who we are. Okay, and I'll say it even if it's not on a Bayern, you know, related thing. But yeah, thank you everyone. Peace.